morning, everybody. This is Cammie with Southern Comfort. So I have some baking potatoes here. We're at the end of April, and usually I plant my potatoes at February 14th to the 30th. But I found these in the refrigerator. I keep them in the refrigerator to preserve them. And as you can see, the sprouts are on them. So usually I plant like 2.5 rows of Yukon Gold and red potatoes, and then a half a row of baking potatoes because it gives me all that I need. Now I've had my potatoes for probably about 4 or 5 years as far as growing them and storing them. So I always save potatoes for my harvest of next year. So what I like to do, since these are longer, since they didn't get in the ground around February 14th to the 30th, which this year I planted on the 14th. So I'm just going to cut some of these sprouts off. I'm going to put them in this bed right here. Cut a few of them off. Because you see they're already sprouting. Okay, so my next thing is that I put I topping this off a little bit. I have a half a bag of potting mix. So what I'm going to do is try to just spread this out. This is my thin green gardening knife, digging knife. And what I'm doing is, in this bed right here, I had radishes. And radishes don't have much root, but the soil can get compacted a little bit. So what I'm doing is kind of just breaking it up a little bit. I'm going to go through and just dig down in here, just like that. No, nothing hard, just digging down there to try to any roots that's still into the ground, just kind of break it up a little bit. So we're planting into a Vago raised bed here, and we cut our tops of our potatoes off because it grew longer. And I like to lay my potatoes out into a bed so that I can see my depth, and also see where I want to plant them at. Basically, to see where I want to plant them at. So, and all we're going to do, I'm just covering these tops up. I'm going down the depth of where I cut it at. I'm laying these potatoes down. Into my other raised bed, the other day I dug up a potato, and that potato was that big around. That's a nice sized potato. It was a red potato. So we want these sprouts not to go too deep, because we want them to go ahead and sprout up and spring forth, since we're running a little bit behind time. Now it's not too late to plant potatoes. I like this thin green gardening digging knife here. It creates me not to get dirt all over my hands, but this morning, so I can just speed this up a little bit, I am using my hand. But even if I don't say keep my hands, oh, a worm. That's nice. That's awesome. That's what I want to see right there. It makes some worm castings, good fertilizer. But even if I say, not in this, for the sake of this video, you know, just use this to dig with. It keeps my other hand clean, and that's really nice. I really do like that, because I'm always getting my hands dirty. And see, after this, I'm gonna have to clean my hands and not just move on. Now, this one right here, I left some of the sprigs up, and that's okay. If you want to leave the sprigs up, you can leave the sprigs up. I personally like to leave some of the sprigs up because they're just going to go ahead and spring forth that much faster, in my opinion. Look at all those sprouts. Sprigs, sprouts. Now this soil is up underneath is dry, so what I'm going to be doing is giving it a little bit of water, because where temperatures are rising up now. That's why I like to plant into the early spring, you know, around February the 14th, because one thing, because of pest pressure, and also because of the heat. So these are my Yukon Gold and red potatoes. There's back 2 rows. And they will be harvested in about 2 weeks, approximately 2 weeks. They'll be ready. I could harvest them now. I am harvesting now, and I'm getting small potatoes. As a matter of fact, down there I dug up some little potatoes, and I got some in the refrigerator, and I cooked a couple of meals with onions from the greenhouse, onion tops, and the potatoes, and some butter, and it was super delicious. So this is how to plant potatoes. These are baking potatoes into a raised bed with sprouts. You can put them with the sprouts coming up, or you can put the sprouts up under the soil, and they'll be just fine, because they will reach out just like those. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on to the next video. It takes 90 days for potatoes to produce. So we're at the end of April. In a couple weeks, these will be ready. Since I'm just planting those, it'll hit at the end of summer. The only thing is that you have to watch for pests. I usually come in here just about every day, since I planted them early, and since it's early, I haven't had any pest problems. But when you plant potatoes later, then usually you have a pest problem, whether it's stink bugs or potato beetles. Those are the ones that you have to watch after when it comes to potatoes. These potatoes are up to my hip. So I'm 5'4", supposedly, and so they are up to my hip, and then the other ones are way past my knees, and then some of them have fell down because it's getting near to harvest time. Now, a lot of people say let your potatoes die and then harvest. Now, here on the southeast coast of North Carolina, I can't do that. And that's why I expressed that you got to learn your area, learn how your area grows according to the zone, and then grow them by experience. You find out that you might not let your potatoes just die out. And the reason of that, because here we have like fire ants that will start eating on the potatoes, and they will eat the potatoes up. Rains will come, and then that will mess them up or destroy them or make them rot, or they're not good for storage. So before harvesting, I like to dig down here, and that's, I don't pull the whole plant up. I can feel the roots, and these still got some growing to do. You can let them go past 90 days. So you still got some growing to do. Now, red potatoes, they don't get as big at times than my Yukon Gold. And since I've done And right now they're at the stage of making the skin. So yes, those are small. A couple weeks or so, I can let them go longer than that. I mean, you can go up to 110 days. I mean, it just really depends on the potato. Usually what I do is I'll look at this potato. So in 2 weeks will be to 90 days. But if my potatoes are still standing tall like that, and they're not laying down, and at the same time depends on our weather, then I'll just let them go a little bit longer so I can get bigger potatoes. Oops. So I like to dig my potatoes up, take a look at that skin, and see if they're getting too much water, or see what's going on with them. You see that right there? That's just tender skin. And with these potatoes that you dig up, then you can just wash them off and you can eat the skin and all. It's got all the vitamins and minerals into it.